Okay, this is the story of St. Adrian. St. Adrian was a pagan, as many of his time were, and he served as an officer of the imperial court of Nicodemia, which was part of the Roman Empire. Christians were often ridiculed during this time and persecuted for their belief in one God. Pagan belief centered around the faith of many gods. St. Adrian was originally a pagan, but was not really all that religious anyway. As a prison guard, Adrian would be in charge of watching over groups of prisoners. One day, a group of Christians that were being tortured and marked for execution came under his guard. At first, he thought it was ridiculous that they devoted their lives to Christianity and were willing to sacrifice their lives for the belief in one God that would seemingly get them nowhere. He did decide to ask them why they were so ready to sacrifice their lives for Christianity. Basically, they proclaimed that because they couldn't see or hear their God, but had complete faith in him anyway, that they were promised an afterlife in heaven. These words and the courage that the group show so impressed St. Adrian that he publicly declared himself a Christian. He immediately was imprisoned and was excruciatingly tortured along with the others. He was then put to a horrible death, having his limbs cut off one by one, and he eventually was beheaded. As the Roman soldiers began to collect the remains for burning, a violent bolt of lightning came down and struck many of them, killing them. The rest went fleeing. The Christians immediately declared Adrian a saint, and that's how his sainthood happened. Well, he became the patron saint of soldiers and prison guards. Of course, he himself was a prison guard. And what was the sound coming from the bust that these guards here, the security guards at the IMA? It was jingling keys. It only seems to make sense that St. Adrian is protecting this hall just as a security guard would. Let's move on.